Hang on, it should turn on. It should announce it. That announced to you that it was recording?
Yeah. And then I just said, got it. Yeah.
Yeah, awesome. Okay, so we'll start from the start. So maybe if we just start by introducing yourself for those people who don't know who you are, Jodie. So who you are, which store you're in.
Yeah, certainly. My name's Jodie Byrnes. I'm the manager of the Toowoomba store in Queensland. I've been here about 3 years now. So, yep. My background is in managing basically mostly family-owned businesses. So I've come from a long background in jewellery. So
Okay.
mid to high-end jewellery stores.
So tell me something interesting about the store.
Our store here.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? I think I struggled when I left the jewellery industry because I had that very close sort of connections with a lot of my customers. I get invited to their weddings and, like really lovely, lovely people. And when I left the jewellery industry, I did struggle to find the right home for me. I went to bras and things. I was at Bed Bath and Table, at Midas Shoes, quite a few different retailers.
Yeah.
Just couldn't find that connection with my customers, you know what I mean? But certainly Blue Illusion, I find I have that. I have lovely ladies all day long, get to know each other. They trust what I say because I am honest and genuine with my advice for them. And I definitely have that really lovely. And Toowoomba's like a big country town. So we're sort of, the loyalty and the love and friendliness I have with my customers probably, I think, is what stands us out from everywhere else. Yeah.
Amazing. So let's talk a bit about this these strategies that you've been implementing. So you were just starting to talk about it before I hit the record button, so I'll get you to start again.
Yeah, well, I'm currently at the moment planning an event for the first Thursday night in September. I've chosen that we're on the top of the Great Dividing Range. So even though we're in Queensland, we're actually one of the coldest parts of Queensland. So being a nighttime event, we generally have a little bit older customers. They don't tend to want to go out at night full stop. And own it being cold. So I thought September, where our city is known for Carnival of Flowers, so it really comes alive for spring. So I thought that would be a better opportunity to pick a date sort of thing a little bit further along. And it also gives me the opportunity to plan it correctly. So we're doing a night in Paris.
Night in Paris, lovely.
Yeah,
and so what drove you to sort of head down to a night in Paris? Was it something?
Well, we've done a lot of daytime events with the fashion parades, and just bored of it, I think. It's getting harder and harder to get people to come.
Yes.
One time people would, but it is getting a bit tired, I think, with customer base. So I wanted to try something different. And from my background in jewellery, we used to do nighttime events, a little more upmarket, which I'm planning on doing the nighttime event, taking the time to not use disposable, champagne flutes and things like that. We've got glass ones here, but a little bit more washing and things, but for the next day. But I think it'll pay off. And just wanted to do something different. Of course, we've tied in our French theme, and the feedback I've had from my customers so far has been really exciting. So I think fingers crossed, I think it should be successful. But all my customers were thinking, what a great idea. I have approached Flight Centre. They're the only travel agent in our centre. So I have tried to collaborate with them. When I spoke to the manager upstairs, she was pretty keen. She had to check through with her marketing boss and whatnot to see. So they down and offer some sort of French trips on the night as well. And I was talking to Mel, and she was mentioning Claire at Rockhampton also did an event with luggage, how to pack your suitcases and things like that. That I thought was a great idea too, but I'm conscious of not doing too many outside things outside our business, inside the business on that night. I don't want the focus to be on everything else. So I'm just going to do the Flight Centre at this stage. We'll do really lovely little goodie bags, and I'll get some samples from L'Occitane and some other retailers in our centre. There's a few French patisseries in Toowoomba. I was going to approach them if they want to put a brochure in our goodie bag, and maybe they could offer a high tea prize for one of the customers. And the other idea I had was we have 2 French language schools in Toowoomba as well.
Right.
So maybe to get some invites to some of those schools, because that would be something that would interest, if you were learning how to speak French. Certainly that may open some doors to some new customers we don't have.
Yeah, gotcha.
We also have Toowoomba's a big area for private schools. For a lot of country people that live, like 12 hours away, Toowoomba's the base big town.
Right.
They send children to boarding school. And there's a couple of boarding schools that do a French immersion program where the students for year 11 and 12, they learn all their lessons in French, and they do French trips and things like that. So I thought that might be another outlet to sort of try and get some different people through our door.
Okay, awesome. So have you run any events like this previously, or is this the first time you're going for this style of event?
Like I have not with Blue Illusion, I have with other stores that I've worked with. So it'll be interesting to see. But like I said, just verbally telling my customers about it, they've been pretty excited about it. Yeah. So,
and you mentioned a couple of interesting things there for me. One was obviously all of these related in businesses. So Flight Centre, the patisseries, even the schools, they all have clients as well. That would you encourage them to invite those people to these events as well?
Yeah. So that the I would sort of provide them, if they're open to it, to a digital copy of the invites that pass through, and possibly get a poster printed if they wanted a poster on their notice board in their venues. So
So what do you think are the critical elements to make these things successful? What are the main things that you need to make sure happen?
Planning. I'm pretty organised, and I like to sort of work with a plan. Setting goals. I like to set a goal of what I want to achieve, the minimum. And most of the time I'm I get there, or pleasantly surprised and really surpass it. So but I think just having my idea with having the nighttime event is just to also put it out there to our customers. It's a bit of a thank you for their patronage over the years. Also, we'll do lovely food, and I find when customers are having fun, they tend to spend. So sort of lighten the mood and not have it all focused on our clothing, but that will just organically happen, that they will buy and shop. So most people, when they come to an event like that, minimum most people buy at least one item, but it's up to us girls to do a proper styling and look the part. And so I think that it will generally just organically grow from there, and people see buying, and they buy because they can see other people buying.
So how frequently would you run an evening event? What do you think is a reasonable cycle?
Look, I think probably twice, if we're still doing the daytime national events. I think maybe twice a year we could certainly support. So, and you could do different things at different times of the year. Obviously, this is our first. So, and look, Thursday nights at the moment, totally dead. So we're not going to lose anything. You know what I mean? It's anything we get is going to be a huge gain. Currently doing. The centre does still open, like they're open on a Thursday night, so you create a bit of noise and whatnot, and you may get other people walking through that haven't shopped with us before as well. So I think that's my biggest goal with the business at the moment. Is I've built it up over the last 3 years, and we've got really good solid loyalty with our customers. But now is to sort of branch out into other areas and get new customers through the door, because the current customer base, they can spend so much, but if we're wanting to grow, I think we've got to reach out to other areas.
So in terms of, because I just want to go back to that one as well. So we talked about a couple of ideal partners like the schools who are doing immersion, and obviously like they'd sort of see this as a great complement to what they do. How would you get like a patisserie as an example, right? How can we optimize the amount of people that we expose this event to, so we're pulling in new leads? Because part of this is getting new people into the database, right?
Yes, it is. So we could certainly, like I said before, have a poster if they're willing to put a poster in their patisserie. A lot of people don't really know, you know, sometimes when we're entrenched in our own business, a lot of people I know, when I said I was going to manage a Blue Illusion store, like my friend base was like, what's that? You know, no one knew about it. I don't mean to be rude, but we've got to realise that because we don't, we advertise generally to people that already like us, that follow us on Instagram and our social media pages, but to reach further than that, and a lot of people don't know we've sort of got that French edge to it, us as well. So again, it will open up and, you know, possibly, you know, obviously being excited when I speak to these people in the patisserie. My excitement also, you know, will help them sell it to their clients as well. But yeah, and I'm happy to, like I said, pop a little, we could certainly see what we can do, obviously offer them invitations and whatnot for their clientele, but also, you know, reciprocate that to them. If they're going to offer me, hopefully, a high tea to give away on the night, then we could certainly, you know, advertise their business. And let's face it, their businesses are a lot smaller than our business, so they will see the really big advantage of being involved, I think.
And I suppose with the patisserie they got a lot more foot traffic than you would have. And so putting things like I suppose a flyer in the window, having a stand with flyers on it and saying, hey, we're sponsoring this, you know, a night in Paris event, and we'd love to get you along as a VIP or something like that. So I suppose creating brochures and flyers and pamphlets and all sorts of things that can be used in the handouts, really useful. In terms of the travel agent, how do you think that you can get them to promote it better? Is it the same strategy or is it a bit different?
I don't know how I'll go with that, because Flight Centre are pretty, you know, pretty straight with their rules and whatnot. So again, all I can do really is to sort of promote to the manager there what we're doing. I don't know that they, you know, necessarily would put a poster up and things like that. So they're regulated fairly strictly with, you know, everything has to look exactly the same and whatnot. So I'm not sure how I'll go there. Certainly, you know, I will, when I spoke to the lady upstairs, she was keen, but she had to get approval further on and whatnot. So I think we'll just sort of play it by ear there, but I'm not sure how far we'll go there. Possibly and just letting the staff know. So, you know, you could invite all the Flight Centre staff, and then next time they're selling a French holiday to one of their clients, they said, oh, did you know Blue Illusion have all the beautiful French prints down there? So possibly just word of mouth like that would spread.
So we've covered French patisseries, the school who has an immersion program. We've covered Flight Centre. Is there any other people you think that we should be engaging in this strategy?
Look, I think that's enough for the night. But like I have done other collaborations with that have been successful with our national charity fashion parades. Have bras and things for one of our events, and it was probably our most successful event we've had. Really, really great. What I found interesting with that is because from a person that styles people, often see women in the wrong bras. They say 9 out of 10 women are wearing the wrong bra. So obviously having the correct underwear will support the whole look once you're dressed. So it was certainly to if pardon the pun, to support support the ladies
Yeah.
to be dressed correctly from top to toe and including their underwear, because it does make a big difference. But again, I was surprised because I asked all the ladies who has had a bra fitting ever before, and hardly anyone had ever had a bra fitting. So
Yeah.
and then we showed them how they do a bra fitting. I was the model and they explained how. So they actually, and they were surprised they didn't have to take their clothes off. That bras and things actually do take measure over your clothing. And a lot of the women said to me, oh, I'm going to go and get my bra fitted now properly, because I know that I can do that. I was terrified I'd have to, take my clothes off, and people that are not body confident, and older and whatnot, feel quite vulnerable, I suppose. So and then when we did the show and whatnot, and we showed off some of the outfits, and then we did so we did our clothing first, and then Ashley, the manager of Bras and Things, did her bras. So she did bring down some basic sort of things, but she bought some lacy things and different things, and the women just had such a laugh. They were just cracking up laughing, and it was fun. And then and I did have quite a few ladies coming to me after and said that was the best one we've ever come to. So they really enjoyed it, and it wasn't, I think it comes across as a genuine wanting to help as well, when you're not shove just another product down someone's throat. Like I said, all those other things just fall into place organically, that they then will buy the beautiful shirt and things like that, because they don't feel you're just doing a hard sell, that they learned something, it was informative. It was.
So with the bras and things, because that's something you've done already and you've got experience with. What are the tips that you'd be giving to someone who hasn't engaged with a bra store within their shopping centre?
I think that you need to let them know what a benefit is to their business. So you really need to bring that to the forefront if you're approaching a business. Rather than the focus being on, we want you to do this.
Because you're right, it's a complementary business. You guys don't sell bras and they don't sell the apparel that you guys sell. So it's just a synergy that brings everyone together.
It does. And that would be my advice, would be to really, really prompt people, that you're talking to the businesses, what it could do for them. What sort of, open their door to some new clientele that wouldn't normally. And that's what Ashley did say also, because she said, oh, your clientele is probably not the same as my clientele, because at the front of Bras and Things, it's all lacy and, sexy. But they do like up to a size, I don't know, it's like up to a size 26. They have all those basics, but they're not in the front window. So they have those clients, but they're not their major, they're big clients, I suppose. So, part of their business that they would be wanting to grow, because they've already got the young ones coming in through the door from their promotions. So
that's an important point that you just said, is like for Bras and Things, their main targeting of their marketing is for the younger generation, which means they wouldn't get many of these women that you're talking about unless they do it this way.
So certainly they have a clientele for that, but it's certainly it's certainly an area that's not growing hugely for them. Which is a plus for them, I suppose.
So Jodie, if we were to wrap up this conversation in some tips for those people that are thinking about doing this kind of thing, what would you advise them?
Get together with your team. It's really interesting to see how different people think, and just say, hey, well, okay, next month is our traditionally a quieter month. Let's see what we can do. If we did an event, what could we do? And talk to the team, because it's amazing when you start talking to different people, the little ideas here and there that come out. And organisation. So, and reach out. I've reached out to head office to draft. Sent an email with a sample invitation that I just found online. and asked them if they could draft up a proper invitation for me, and I put examples of wording that I sort of had thought of. So don't just dump it on someone else. Put your ideas, because you want it to sound like you. You want it to sound not just like a stock invitation. So you want to put a bit of your sort of personality, I suppose, in the theme of the night that you're wanting, or the day event, into it. So, and look, I'm happy to chat to anyone if anyone wants to just bounce a few ideas. So I did, the last event we had, the last fashion parade, I thought it would be an amazing fit. I did approach Gazman, because they're a family-owned Melbourne-based business, and I thought our women would love to see a man walking down the runway amongst other ladies.
Yeah.
But they didn't want to do it. So the timing wasn't right for them, they said. So I will approach them at Gazman again, because I think we align really well. I know a lot of ladies that walk in our door have a Gazman bag, and the same with them. So, but if they're another no, I will approach another mentor, I think, because I think it would be good. Because a lot of the time we women are the ones that are buying for the men, and sometimes the men just to lighten the mood, and offering vouchers to each other to hand out in store and things like that.
So just to summarize, talk with your team, do some planning, and personalize the communication with the potential people that you want to do this with, and just make sure it's not a sales pitch, it's sort of adding value.
I think so, and have some fun, and look, people that are not confident at doing them, you will get, and something is better than nothing, and you'll learn each time you do an event what you could do better, or you'll think, oh, we should have done that, or so I think do something rather than nothing, because you will, even though what are they, there's this quote about striving for perfection, I can't remember what it is, but obviously want everything to be tip top and perfect, but it's not always the case. And look, if we're running, and we've always got a ton of jobs to do, and this sometimes does feel like an extra job, but just give yourself time to plan it. And just even if managers are thinking, maybe just commit to one event by yourself that's not a national event, and what you get back from your customers is certainly worthwhile.
Amazing. This has been really helpful. I think for a lot of the shops out there that are struggling with how to get this off the ground, you've sort of given them a bit of inspiration. The idea of having it as a non-national event, so personalised to the local area, has a bit of a ring to it as well. So I think there's some tips in there.
Yeah, definitely. And from a business point of view, it's all profit too then. So we do also, do all our charity stuff also. But if you're wanting just to sort of, prop up that your store balance sheet a little bit, certainly it will give you that little bit of oomph. And you just continue to build the client base, I think, too, because a lot of times people won't go to an event by themselves, so they might already be our customer, so they'll invite a friend, and we may not have ever met them before, so it does introduce another layer of customer as well in that sense.
Awesome. Jodie, if anyone wants any help, they can just reach out to you at Toowoomba, or your name's on the screen, Jodie Byrnes. They can find you. This has been really helpful, and I'm pretty sure that some of the guys are going to get some good inspiration out of it. So thanks again for your time today.
You're very welcome, David. Thank you. Bye.
Bye.